In Chapter 16, we're going to take a look at a type of chemicals known as amines. And amines are defined as chemicals that have one or more organic group bonded to nitrogen directly. And we can consider them as derivatives of ammonia. So we'll see their general formula: RNH2, R2NH, R3N, where R represents the rest of the molecule or some carbon-containing group. And we classify amines according to the number of carbon-containing groups that are bonded to that nitrogen. So primary amines have one carbon-containing group bonded to them and two hydrogen. Secondary amines have two carbon-containing groups bonded to that nitrogen and one hydrogen. And then tertiary amines have three carbon-containing groups directly bonded to that nitrogen and no hydrogen directly bonded to the nitrogen. So this graphic here shows you first ammonia, and then a primary amine. Here's our general format where there's a carbon-containing group directly bonded to the nitrogen. And here is the formula of a primary amine down here, where we have an ethyl group bonded to the nitrogen. And by the way, the name of this is ethylamine. Secondary amine, two carbon-containing groups directly bonded to the nitrogen. And here's an example down here of a secondary amine, diethylamine. And then a tertiary amine has three carbon-containing groups directly bonded to that nitrogen. And our example down here is triethylamine. I just want to point out this lone pair of electrons on the nitrogen. They may or may not expressly be written, but they tend to dominate the chemistry that amines undergo. So if they're not expressly written, chemists know that they are there. Another type of amines are cyclic amines, and many amines occur in this cyclic form, and they can be secondary or tertiary, and here's an example of one, pyrrolidine. Now, if the nitrogen has four single bonds to it, that means this lone pair is being shared with another group, either hydrogen or a carbon-containing group. It will have an overall positive charge, and it's known as a quaternary ammonium ion. And there is going to be an anion somewhere, but sometimes that anion is not expressly written because we care more about the quaternary ammonium ion. Now, the carbon-containing groups that are bonded directly to the amine nitrogen can be alkyl, as in this case, methylamine. It can be aromatic, as in the case of aniline or N-ethylnaphthalene or naphthalamine. And also that carbon-containing group can have another functionality. So here we have an example of acetylcholine, where we have a quaternary ammonium ion, and one of the organic groups directly bonded to the nitrogen has an ester functionality.